Next, I think I want to pass it to my colleague, Sarah Donnelly.
Thanks, Marlo. Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Donnelly. I'm the Director of Retail Services here at TechTown Detroit. We are really passionate about retail at TechTown. We have a team of professionals that have owned boutiques, have taken businesses online, and we really believe in its impact to service the community. So we have offerings that range from 24/7 access to retail assistance on our Pinterest page, open office hours, retail boot camp. We are recruiting for that now. It's our 10th cohort. If you are interested in opening an omni-channel brick and mortar location, not the brick and mortar location of yesterday, but the location for what is now the new normal and whatever the normal is going to be tomorrow, retail boot camp is a good opportunity to do that. And we also host a virtual shopping experience on the last Friday of every month called The Shop. Again, we believe in retail and its ability to generate jobs and have services, amenities for the community. Shop local is more important than ever, right? So if you want to talk about anything retail, you know, we're here. And from there, I'll throw it over to Myka Burley.
Good afternoon. Like Sarah said, my name is Myka Burley. I'm the Senior Project Director for 313 Strong, which is a new initiative that's a collaborative partnership between TechTown, New Economy Initiatives, or NEI, and some great partners in our 5 microlenders or small business lenders in the city, and a county aid society to provide coaching over a 6-month period with businesses that have really been affected by COVID over the last 4 or 5 months now. And so this is an initiative that we're just piloting this year and looking forward to taking more into the future. I'll pass it to my colleague from Goldman Sachs, Paul Jones.
Hi, thank you. We are really excited to be here to be part of this very robust ecosystem and very excited about partnering with TechTown and this Demo Day venture. So outstanding program. At the Goldman Sachs program, it's been in existence in Detroit since 2014, and it's been in existence overall nationally since 2011. Effectively in 2011, Goldman Sachs, the investment bank, decided that they want to use their philanthropic dollars to help small businesses like yours scale up. So for mom and pop shops to mid-sized businesses that want to go to the next level, Goldman Sachs, in conjunction with Babson and hosted by Wayne State and TechTown, have put together an outstanding curriculum that facilitates your growth. So it's the things that you want to know but never quite knew who to ask is what the program is all about. It's also supported by peer-to-peer learning. We have over 545 alumni in the Metro Detroit area, and growing. So you would be in a very close relationship with our growing and robust alumni base here in Michigan. And also we provide you with access to the resources that you need to grow. And that could be making sure that you have resources like TechTown and what Wayne State has to offer, resources like the SBA. We work across the ecosystem to make sure you have everything you need to grow and take your business to the next level. There's no cost for the program. It's all paid for by Goldman Sachs. And it's a very serious time commitment, but if you're really looking to take your business to the next level, if you have over $100,000 in revenue and looking to understand how to better identify pivot and growth opportunities, it's an outstanding opportunity for you. And we love to have you apply. Again, congratulations for joining this call, because I think you're on the right path to growth just by seeking out resources such as Demo Day.
Thank you so much, Paul. And now I want to open up for Lauren Hoffman, who is joining us from Rocket Mortgage. Lauren, can you just introduce yourself so everyone can know who you are?
Yeah, thank you. So my name is Lauren Hoffman. I'm the Director of Entrepreneurship at the Quicken Loans Community Fund. So we are the corporate social responsibility arm of the Rock family of companies. And we have had the tremendous privilege of investing over the last 10 years over $200 million into Detroit, the city in which we live, work, and play. And so the entrepreneurship vertical of our work, which stands to support small businesses and high growth startups in the city, is a core commitment of ours. The innovation and diversity and job growth and interest that is brought to our city by the people in the work on a day-to-day basis, the people building the companies, is one of the most important things that we can continue to support, and now more than ever. And so we'll definitely be talking about this more, but with Detroit Demo Day, our marquee program, we've been really thoughtful this year in responding to this moment and making sure that we can continue to showcase, celebrate, and directly fund businesses in the city, and in a way that matters right now.
Thank you so much for that. It's exciting. I'm so happy to hear from all of you. I'm sure that all of our participants are happy to learn a little bit more about all of you. We're all extremely happy to be here tonight, and we can't wait to answer your questions on how to create a strong application for the Rocket Mortgage Demo Day. So I want to get started. I want to get started by speaking to Lauren a little bit about the why behind Rocket Mortgage and Demo Day. Learn a little bit more about some previous winners and maybe some commonalities among them. So Lauren, I'll ask you to set the tone for us and help us understand why you all chose this format of Detroit Demo Day to invest in small businesses in the city.
Sure, yeah. So this is the 4th year that Detroit Demo Day will exist. It has previously been called Quicken Loans Detroit Demo Day. We rebranded this year and have adopted the Rocket Mortgage name because it really is our core and most innovative product, and that is the spirit that we bring to this competition. This is the largest pitch competition in the country, it turns out, the largest amount of direct funding distributed in a given day. And that's exactly why we do it. So coming to this work and knowing that we're here to support the entrepreneurial ecosystem, we're here to support small businesses. We do that through working with great partners like TechTown, like Goldman Sachs 10,000 Small Businesses, like other entrepreneurial service organizations in the city. But ultimately, at the end of the day, we know that the companies themselves are often just at the precipice of growth or have very specific use of funds in mind and know exactly how to get where they're going. And because of a number of structural and systemic barriers, as well as the relative immaturity of our startup and small business ecosystem, there are just barriers to procuring that funding. And so we saw in 2017 the opportunity to help fill in that gap and to be another accessible and really user-friendly form of capital for businesses. And we just don't do anything small. So if we're going to give out money, we're going to do it in a way that is a giant party and that really showcases the businesses and gets them on a main stage, able to talk to a large audience of the city, of other aspiring entrepreneurs who are looking at them and seeing this path ahead, and of other consumers and investors and potential employees and people who are going to make a difference for growing their business. So obviously that's a little bit different this year. Last year we packed the house at the Fillmore. This year that would be incredibly dangerous. So instead we are taking it online, and we're going to be pre-recording sort of a mini series, like a TV Shark Tank style mini series that will highlight our finalist businesses and give them an opportunity to pitch and hype up the audience and the judges about their business, and then display some of that interaction so that you can really see the evaluation and selection process for the ultimate winners.
Thank you so much for that. That was extremely helpful. And it's really cool that you guys are the largest pitch competition for entrepreneurs. I did not know that. So I'm very happy to be sitting on this in this setting with you. So can you tell us a little bit more about how it works? So how many companies How much money? Are there, certain, I know that there are 3 buckets that you guys stay within as far as funding goes. Can you speak a little bit more to that for us?
Yeah, sure. So we will be giving out $1 million, as we do every year, in a combination of grants, interest-free loans, and convertible debt investments. So those will range in size from $30,000 up to $200,000, depending on the category. And in addition to those prizes distributed by our panel of judges, which will be made up of a combination of sort of local celebrity entrepreneurs and really well-informed investors, we will also be allowing the city to vote and the entrepreneurs to rally their own communities, and we'll have a People's Choice category or a People's Choice winner in each category with another $25,000 grant attached to that. So we're talking about a pretty serious amount of money. And we know also that this is obviously a year in which no one's taking that for granted. And so with the investing climate looking different than it has in years past, with day-to-day revenue looking significantly different for many businesses, our prizes and the way we are distributing funding have changed a little bit. So our categories this year are start, build, and sustain. And so start businesses are early stage businesses that are past the idea stage. They've got a product in market, but they're just getting started. We know that climates of uncertainty like this, or times of sort of economic distress, can really breed innovation and can show us who are the companies that are just getting started and are nimble enough to really take off at a moment like this and opportunistically respond to what's happening in the world. But know that those businesses need the seed capital that they always have in order to get started. In the build category, we're recognizing businesses that are seeing strong growth, either despite or in some cases because of what's going on today, and to as always, need that growth capital to expand and to maybe launch a new location, a new market, a new product, but to double down on their existing traction and success. But we're aware that right now investors might have less of a risk appetite. And so normal funding sources for growth stage businesses are a little bit harder to come by. And so Demo Day is here to respond to that as well. And then finally, and perhaps the most uniquely this year, we have the sustain category, which is totally new to Demo Day. And that is for businesses that are really pillars of this city, that have been here for years, that have some sort of physical presence in the city, that are creating jobs in the city, and that we need to be sure make it through this because they're so important in the way they create jobs, in the way that they anchor communities, provide beloved products and services. And so I think there might be a perception that Demo Day is only for new businesses. That is not the case at all. Businesses that have been here and that we care to see here forever are also Demo Day eligible.
Thank you so much for that. I really appreciate the thoughtfulness that you guys have put behind each of these 3 categories, especially the sustain category, given everything that's going on right now. I think what's also exciting for me about Demo Day is that you see such a broad representation of entrepreneurs. Can you speak a little bit to the past winners, if there are any businesses that surprised you and your team or anything that was very exciting for you?
Yeah, I mean, like all of them like I can't pick a favorite child sort of. There's such diversity along every axis when you look at our past winners. So we have restaurants with a couple locations who've been in the city for years, like Louisiana Creole Gumbo. We have health tech startups like Functional Fluidics. We have food and beverage startups like Detroit Dough. We have Healthy Roots Dolls, which is a representational doll for young girls of color that's taking off like wildfire right now. So when people ask us like, oh, is this for a specific industry? The answer is obviously no. It also is really exciting to us that our winners from prior years are based all over the city, really look like the city, represent the full breadth of the kinds of innovation popping up all over the city. And so that is something that we are committed to every time we do Demo Day. I would say what is maybe consistent across all of the winners is that they are businesses. So when you apply to Demo Day, you're not an idea, you're not a landing page that you've put up to test out demand. Like, you have a product or service in market that you can tell people want. It might just be a few people. You may not have sold hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of your product. In fact, you probably haven't, but you have a product or service in market and people want it, and you can show us that. The other thing that is really consistent about Demo Day winners is that they have a really clear understanding of how they will use funds that they win. So whether it's a specific growth project, opening a second location, for example, like the 10 Nail Bar did, or moving into a new space, or switching, retooling a manufacturing facility to bottle a product in a new way, like Ellis Island Tea. You have a really clear and explicit use of funds in mind, and it is realistic. So if you know that you need $1 million to get where you're going, you also know that Demo Day is not going to provide that. So you're thinking about the full journey and the role that Demo Day can play in that. But I would also say that we hear all the time from our past winners that they really didn't think they were going to win. Like, no one who comes out the other side as a winner believes that they would be. And so if you are on the fence, if you are wondering whether Demo Day is for you, like, shoot your shot. There's a very good chance that it is.
I love that. Thank you. I like the idea of letting people know they need to shoot their shots. The underdog sometimes does get a chance to win. And I want to reiterate to all of our attendees today that you can absolutely use the closed captioning. It's available at the bottom of the screen. You can either choose to view the entire transcript or just the subtitles. So really quickly, I kind of want to go through some of the application qualifications and eligibility. And then I also want you guys to all know that this information can be found on DetroitDemoDay.com. And we will also open up for questions at the end if there's anything that we don't cover. So just some highlights for the application before we get to questions. All of the applications must be submitted via the online portal at DetroitDemoDay.com. Companies are asked to provide a very clear and comprehensive description of their business and long-term growth plans, as Lauren mentioned. Companies that are applying to Detroit Demo Day must choose one of the 3 described categories: start, sustain, or build. And these categories are based on your company's revenue, total capital raise, and your plans for continued operations and growth in the city. You must make the selection on your own as an applicant. Rocket Mortgage is not able to do this on the back end. They are relying on you to identify what it is that you need. Applications are open now, but they do close on Sunday, August 9th at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Since the applications are digital, please take this into account, which means that completing your application on a timely basis so that you aren't submitting at the last minute. The selection process to pitch at Detroit Demo Day consists of several rounds of online application vetting by community partners and Detroit-based business leaders. And these reviewers then narrow down the hundreds of applicants to the top 17 semifinalists. Just as one additional note, if you attended Detroit Demo Day in the past, please note that there are a few changes. there may be a potential site visit from the Quicken Loans Community Fund Entrepreneurship team, depending on obviously the most up-to-date health and safety guidelines due to COVID-19. Also note that pitches and the subsequent evaluation process will take place in a very safe and socially distanced format. These events will be filmed as feature episodes and released to audiences in the fall of 2020, as Lauren mentioned. So you'll have a really cool opportunity to have your business in front and center and spotlighted across the nation, because this, obviously this takes place in Detroit, but all eyes are on you guys. So who is eligible? All businesses applying must meet this general eligibility as of July 14th. You must be established as a for-profit business entity. You must have a product or service available for sale. You must be Detroit-based or willing to relocate your business to Detroit. Have under $2 million in annual revenue and under $1 million in total capital raised. And you must be willing to share your company's financial statements if requested by the Detroit Demo Day team. The following businesses are unfortunately not eligible to apply, franchises, nonprofit organizations, and business owners who are team members of the Rock family of companies. So Rock Ventures, Quicken Loans Community Fund, Bedrock, or Detroit Venture Partners. And if there's anything I forgot or misspoke of, Lauren, please correct me or toss in there. Okay, great. Now I want to open up the floor for any questions of Lauren or the TechTown panelists about either the 3 categories or the application process overall. And please, let's limit questions to things that we haven't yet discussed. So please join us in the Q&A at the bottom of your screen and pop in any questions that you may have. And we're really excited to answer them for you. And I'm also going to take a look in our chat here to see if there were any questions that were posted there. I see that there was a question of if past participants of TechTown programs are eligible to apply for Detroit Demo Day. And the answer is absolutely yes. We want you to apply. We're really excited about this opportunity for you. And if any of our TechTown team members want to add anything to that, please absolutely feel free.
Yes. And depending on the type of interaction and engagement you've had with the program, you more than likely have the framework of your application all ready to go. I think what's been alluded to so far is that going through the application process is a great exercise, to be able to talk about what you've done and share your vision of where you want to go. And to Lauren's point, shoot your shot. Absolutely.
Would agree. Even early companies with our Start Studio program, we're talking about folks who are in the concept stage, and they basically go through a whole long process of talking to their customers, digging deep into the business model and finding out what's happening, what's a value proposition, and really coming up with an actual product to sell. So those are definitely things that are going to make you eligible, and the stronger the idea, the more opportunity that you have to shine.
Thank you guys for that. So we have a couple more questions in our Q&A box, and I'm going to go ahead and push them out so that we can answer them live. The first question is from Claudette Bond. Is there any concern for age of person?
I'm happy to jump in here. The answer is not at all. Everyone is eligible and welcome to apply. That is not something that we screen for. It's maybe something that we're interested to discover on the other side, but no one is too young or too old.
Thank you so much for that, Lauren. So our next question comes from B. Fisher 1. what is one company in Detroit that Dr. Marlo specifically would like to see apply to Detroit Demo Day? But I'd also like to have that question opened up for the other lovely folks on our panel, because I'm sure they'd have some interest in seeing some cool businesses apply for Demo Day as well.
I'm not going to fall into that trap. I do want seriously though, a lot of the programs that we go through, it is a vetting process. You are kind of taking your idea, beating it up, and at the end of the day, anyone who has successfully completed this process, you really do have a chance. So everyone who has come through each of the programs, not just in tech side, but also on the small business side, please put yourselves out there. I think you win not just from winning the grand prize, that's what everybody wants to do, but you also win from connecting to the people who are going to give you feedback, connecting to this really wonderful network of folks who are really all about supporting you and helping you. So there's no reason to not go forward.
Any of our other panelists have any specific types of companies or any company that you would like to see apply? Or are you guys like just everybody, the more the merrier? Because that's where my heart is. Everybody apply.
Myka, I'll jump in real quickly. I would really, and I won't specify a company, but I think some service-based businesses that have really become innovative during this time it'd be great to see them be able to grow and expand their operation because of this opportunity.
I'll jump in there. Again, I wouldn't name one company, but I think the spirit of this is to really boost our entrepreneurial environment, and companies that are really making a difference in our ecosystem, whether it be providing a service that is much needed, a technical skill. This is what we're all about, is promoting you and making sure that you have the resources, not just capital, but the overall resources to succeed. So if you feel like, what you're doing is important and it's feeding into the ecosystem, then please step up, and hopefully you'll win. But if not, you will get a lot of great skill sets, and you'll be introduced to a lot of other resources that are going to help you. So just, dovetailing what they said, there's no loss in this situation for you. There's only upside for you.
Thank you guys so much for that. I do have a question specifically for Lauren. How many companies applied for Detroit Demo Day last year?
Last year, we saw between 450 and 500 applications. And that's been pretty standard. We've seen around 500 every year. And so it's a lot. It's great to see. Again, that should not discourage anyone from applying. One of the most common things we hear is that no one thinks that they're going to be the one to win. The other, I think, important thing to note on that is that if you've applied in prior years, you are still definitely eligible to apply this year. And in fact, when we see a company come back year after year with all this growth in between to tell us about, or maybe less growth, but more like learning and refining of exactly what they're doing and doing better and better, we love to see that. So if you've applied before, definitely apply again.
Thank you very much. I have another one that very well may be for you, Lauren. How long is the pitch, and can it be accompanied with video? I'm assuming that they're talking about on the application.
So we don't actually have a video pitch component of the application. The application is fully written. When it does come time to the pitch, and we won't over-index on that today, because that is much further down the line. But when it does come time to the pitch, the Demo Day team will offer direct, personalized coaching one-on-one with every finalist business to make sure that they are fully equipped to pitch and to represent their business in the best possible light. And as in prior years, we're looking at pretty short pitches. So 60 to 90 seconds, like really tight, really punchy. And for a sense of the tone of those pitches, if you're curious about what those have looked like in prior years, you can watch previous years' demo days on YouTube. So we have the full events recorded and available on YouTube. Again, like picture it without the like giant stage and packed audience because of COVID-19, obviously, but you can see some examples of prior pitches there.
Thank you so much for that. A question that we received says, if you have a service-based business, but you have not started operating yet, are you still eligible to apply?
So, I mean, that's a tough one. I don't want to like lay down a hard and fast rule. I would say similarly to what I shared before, if your business is not yet incorporated, if you're testing out an idea, you're probably not in the best position to win Demo Day this year. It sounds like we want to hear from you next year, but that like if you are just ramping up operations now, if you have tested the market and have maybe an ancillary service that you can prove traction with, if you've built a large community into which you're about to launch a product or service, those all would indicate that you might in fact be ready this year in the start category. So sort of the more you can demonstrate that you have a product in market, that you've gotten close to product market fit, the more well-positioned your application will be. But again, when in doubt, I would say fill out the application. If you're filling it out and you're like, I can't answer any of these questions, I don't know the answers to any of these, like that might indicate that you still have some work to put in before you'd be a super competitive applicant on the stage. But don't count yourself out before starting the application, is what I'd say.
Thank you so much for that. And we're getting a few questions specific to the pitch. I want to reiterate, just Lauren talked about the pitch is something that comes as a secondary step in the process. So if you're selected to move forward, at that point you receive some one-on-one coaching from their team to help prepare you for the pitch. So let's save those questions for when things move forward for you in your application period. And also, if you have questions very, very specific to your business that are very, very tailored, very, very tailored to you, I would highly recommend taking advantage of TechTown's open office hours opportunity. And I know that it's been placed in the chat here, but it's techtowndetroit.org/open-office-hours-intake. That was a lot, but it's in the chat here. And if you signed up for this, which you obviously did, there should be a link in the event registration there for you to access that. And again, if you want to watch the Demo Days video from 2019 or previous years, that is available on YouTube. So please take that in. It'll be a really great and useful tool for you as you build your application and think through your time working with the Demo Days team. All right, so here is another question that says, if you are in the early phase and you had to pivot due to COVID-19, how is it recommended that you explain that in the application? I think this is also something that's probably pretty nuanced that we'd love to help you with in open office hours to help you create a narrative that helps to explain what that process was for you in a way that makes sense for the application period. Another question that we have from the Vopio team from Rod. Hey, Rod. Rod was one of our participants in Start Studio. I'm not sure if the applicant's business must eventually be in the city or could it be in Metro Detroit? And And I want to let you take that away, Lauren. I believe I have an understanding of that, but I don't want to misspeak.
Yeah, so the businesses must be located in Detroit, Highland Park, or Hamtramck, or be willing to relocate there. So that obviously leaves it a little bit up to interpretation, but we're really thinking about the city within city limits. And when we talk about willing to relocate, we mean like have immediate plans, or certainly be like on the path to relocating, I'd say like within the year. One great example is Healthy Roots Dolls, which actually had been previously based in Cincinnati and was in Detroit for an accelerator program, applied for demo day, knowing that they weren't sure where they were going to base their headquarters, won demo day, and that helps them to decide to be permanently based in Detroit and to set up their business address in Detroit and start hiring their team in Detroit. So if you are firmly established with a brick and mortar location outside of the city and have no plans to move it, or to expand into a location in the city, Demo Day is probably not the best fit. If you have not selected your office space yet, and are going to be moving into an office or moving into your first permanent location in the coming year, Demo Day may very well be for you.
Thank you so much. A question we have from TechTown Brookins. Are there any recommended resources for companies or firms that develop pitch decks, videos for applicants to add to their submission? I will also just kind of jump in and add a little bit of input here for you. A great resource, like I've said before, is to just start with an open office hours appointment and see what we can do to help you help yourself. We obviously don't want you to go out and spend a ton of money on preparing your application. We want to give you a free resource to help you get started, because we want you to win money, not spend a whole bunch of it. We want you to win money. Obviously, you want to be well prepared, but I think that would be a great starting point as you get ready to prepare and submit your application. In addition to open office hours, are there any other strategies or tips that any of our panelists would like to offer for our applicants?
I would say that part of what makes a strong application is being able to clearly state why you are different from other ways that people are solving the problem. I think that sometimes when we talk to entrepreneurs, they lead with, I am doing this thing. I have this thing that I've created that's really, really extra cool. And not necessarily, they're much more in love with the thing than they are the fact that they're solving this problem for an entrepreneur. And if you orient yourself around the problem and then think about how what you're doing right now solves the problem best, and then you're able ultimately to adapt to make sure that it's always solving the problem best, even if you have to change a little bit what you have to do, that's really good. But it starts off for this particular application, you need to make sure that you're very clearly talking about how what you do has an advantage over any other solution, and not just, I do this thing.
I could piggyback on that, and thank you, Dr. Marlo. I would say that impact and implication is key. So a lot of times as business owners, we get so involved in the how and we forget about the what. So start off by saying, this product is going to change the lives of people in Detroit or worldwide or wherever it is by making your life easier, by making people more productive, by making people healthier, right? And then that's very compelling. And then you get into how. This is what we do. This is actual service. And here's how we're going to deliver on that promise. So starting with that, because that's what everybody wants to know. You can have the greatest product, but if you only talk about the technical points and people can't relate to how it's going to impact them or their society or their neighborhood, then you have a whole bunch of, you have a technical piece of software and it doesn't really show the impact. So making it relatable. And the second part that's very key, and Lauren touched on this, is making sure that you know your ask. So when you go into this, know how much you need and how you're going to apply it. And there are some specific questions around that, but if you don't know that, then you really don't have an actionable plan. You have a concept. But to me, an actionable plan is like, this is everything I got. And you know what, here's the funding that I need. Here's exactly how I use it to bring this product or the service to life and change and impact the community, or to expand it, or even to pivot, because we've already seen that as good in one environment, but post-COVID, we have to pivot, and here's how we need the money. So making sure that you can apply it to, that show the implication of your product, the impact, and also show being very clear on what you need the money for. Just like you would go to any other investor, you wouldn't go say, yeah, here it is, give me $1 million. And they'll say, why? Well, because you said you were going to give away $1 million. And I thought, why not, right? You should be able to clearly articulate how that's going to help you reach that goal.
Thank you so much for that. Do any of our other panelists want to add something there? All right, I will move on to our next question. Ms. Kelly asks, if you're a service-based company that you were affected by COVID as far as your in-person services, and now you operate completely virtually meeting with clients. I believe that this is specifically for a telehealth company. Is that okay, or does that have any bearing on your application?
So we just want to hear about how. We are very attuned to the fact that every business has had to pivot in some way over the last 6 months. And so we definitely expect that we will hear about all kinds of changes in services and digital transformations. And we just want to know what you are doing and what you're doing differently now and how it's working. In fact, if you said that nothing changed at all and that you are, doing in-person events in the same way you were before, that would be more of a red flag. So we definitely want to hear that story of how you've made that transformation and what you're observing in its impact on your business. I guess I'll lean on the other panelists to speak to how to tell that story, or how office hours perhaps can help folks craft that narrative.
Yeah, I would say in the, thanks Lauren, in the open office hours, it's a great opportunity to, really drill down and refine who you are, what you do, who you serve, how you did it before, how you flexed and are nimble through this season, and how you project to continue to be nimble, because no one can predict, right? So it's going to be this song and dance between being specific with your ask, but then also understanding that things could change tomorrow, right? So the more you're showing that you as the business owner and the leader of this company are the right person to invest in because of your track record of adjusting to the market, I think that's a strong case.
I'd like to add also that something Sarah just said about you showing you're the right person. I think that everybody has to be very, very clear that who you are as a founder is really going to be supplemented by the experiences that you have, and also what you bring that's a little bit different. Having a very good sense of your authentic self, and maybe you don't look like every other founder that you might expect to be in the situation. I think you own that and push that, and not be afraid that that's the case, because sometimes that is your secret weapon. That is something that you can really lean on and come at it, at the solution in a different way. So do not let anything stop you in terms of your thoughts about who should be the person who's leading a company. You're leading it, just own it and push forward in it.
Thank you so much for that. And we have time for just maybe one or two more questions. I definitely want to address what Aaron has asked, excuse me. You asked a question regarding location, because and it's Aaron from 27th Letter Books. Hey, Aaron, I've bought books from you guys before at your pop-up at TechTown. They are technically located outside of the city in their private residence, but pop-ups have been exclusively based in Detroit, and obviously due to COVID, they've been affected. My suggestion would be crafting that narrative through an open office hours appointment, as we just talked about, just because you guys obviously have a compelling case to share your story. And the second question that was asked is considering systemic inequalities and power imbalances that generally exist in the investing world, which Lauren, you did talk about. How does the program ensure that the judges and applicants are a diverse representative of the population of the city and the population of the entrepreneurs who are applying?
Sure, yeah, that's a great question. So we are very careful in setting up the sort of panel of judges at all 3 stages of judging to be diverse in race, gender, background, experience, entrepreneurial experience, investing experience, so their outlook on small businesses, their outlook on tech startups, so that we do have broad representation, and so that we can make sure that the people sort of behind the curtain match and look like the people who are on the front lines with their business every day submitting their applications. We also construct this process so that every business is reviewed multiple times over. So the fate of a given application is never in the hands of 1 or 2 people. Everything is reviewed by multiple judges throughout the process. And we're very deliberate about bringing in folks who have demonstrated through their own work a commitment to equity and diversity in the small business ecosystem. So I will be frank that we don't have a panel of sort of average Detroit consumers or like small business shoppers among our judges, but who we do have are folks on this call, are leaders of entrepreneurial service organizations that are explicit about diversity and equity in their missions, who interact with hundreds of small businesses and startups day to day in the course of their work, and to bring that ethos and bring that intention to all of their work. So we feel very confident that our panel of judges will enter the room with humility, with awareness of historic and enduring inequalities in investing decisions, and with the real intention of serving and showing up for businesses that represent the full diversity of entrepreneurs in the city.
Thank you so much for that, Lauren. I'll thank you for both your response and for, once again, for the thoughtfulness that you guys employ with this entire program. It's absolutely fantastic. I really appreciate this as a Detroiter.
And I guess I'll also say, just to one more thing, and I will then humble down a little, but while this is something that we think about all the time and that we're as thoughtful about as we can be every year, it's definitely something that is an ongoing conversation on our team, and it's something that we are constantly talking about. And so we are open to feedback and ideas around that throughout this process as well. And so like Demo Day is sort of by and for Detroiters. Everyone on the production side of Demo Day like lives in the city and shops in the city, and also either invests or owns a business in the city. And so this is an ongoing conversation internally, and we want it to be an ongoing conversation with the broader ecosystem as well. So if there are ideas or questions specifically on that, we are always open to hearing them.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And I have one final question, and it is that if there is potential for people to set time or appointments or reach out to someone from Rock Ventures about their application, specifically your Campus Commandos company. And I'm not sure if I'm asking that correctly. It looks like I was wondering if my team could reach out to Rock Ventures specifically about their Campus Commandos company. Is this something that you are?
Sure. So we really don't accept one-on-one conversations from individual businesses because we want to eliminate any potential bias that might introduce. We definitely don't have time to meet with 500 businesses over the next 3 weeks, as much as we would love to. And so we want to make sure that we're not accidentally introducing any bias that way. We would definitely recommend reaching out to TechTown for one-on-one office hours. And there will also be other information sessions like this one in which you can ask additional questions to a broader group. So I will quickly plug that tomorrow at noon, there will be an Instagram Live Ask Me Anything with James Chapman, the founder of Demo Day and CEO of Plainsight, a Detroit-based tech startup. And Yalitza Jean Charles, the founder of Healthy Roots, a prior winner. And so that is an opportunity to ask another round of questions directly. There will also be a handful of other information sessions taking place over the next couple weeks, which we will be advertising on our social media. We are at Detroit Demo Day on like every platform. So there will be plenty of opportunities to ask your questions, but not one-on-one with the team, unfortunately.
Thank you so much for that, Lauren. And I want to thank all of our panelists here. I want to thank Marlo, Sarah, Paul, and Lauren for their time and for sharing their insights with the broader community about this very important program that you guys run, Detroit Demo Day. So as we wrap up, I just want to thank everyone who joined us for this fireside chat. All of our participants, thank you guys for being here with us. I hope that you've all gained great insight into the application process for Detroit Demo Day, as well as the program overall. If you have additional questions about Detroit Demo Day that were not answered, please feel free to set an appointment with the TechTown staff via open office hours. Feel free to join them at DetroitDemoDay.com to get more information about the application or anything that we did not cover here. And then also just to kind of plug all of the programs that we've got going on between everyone. TechTown has a suite of programs that are taking applications right now, where Retail Bootcamp is, Start Studio is. I know that the 10,000 Small Businesses program is as well, and their website is 10ksbapply.com. Again, so just wanted to plug all of those things, and thank you all for joining us today. You should see a poll that'll pop up on your screen just asking you about your Demo Day application. Please just take 2-3 seconds to respond to that for me. And just remember, if you have more questions or need any help with your application, techtowndetroit.org for more information on the Demo Day program overall, DetroitDemoDay.com. Thank you guys so much. Have a fantastic evening and good luck with your applications.
Thank you. Thank you for hosting this.
Good luck, everybody.
Good luck.
Good luck. Thank you.
Shoot your shot.